Hey everyone, my name's Samyr Qureshi and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Knack. A little bit more about me. I work at a education technology company called Knack, and I chose to work in this industry because education really matters to me. Um, a little bit more about myself and the company. I was born in the Middle East and I moved over to the States when I was about 6 or 7 years old. I got an education right here in Pinellas County. Um, and through that process, I, at a young age, was actually told that I wasn't going to be on a good academic track. My mom actually had me tested for gifted, was really excited that perhaps her son could get into a gifted program. And lo and behold, she was told that I was the opposite of gifted and that I needed to be in a lot of academic support programming and wasn't really going to make it anywhere in life unless I got a lot of intervention and medication and things like that. Well, my mom never let me hear that and sort of ignored it and became my first tutor. And through that process, I was able to actually excel and do pretty well in school. So I ended up getting most of college done while I was in high school through a dual enrollment program full-time at St. Petersburg College. And I had the opportunity to become student body president of the college while I was technically enrolled in high school. A lot of my friends said, "You're crazy, why are you leaving high school early to go to college? Don't you love your experience in high school?" Well, I found out that the college experience locally meant that I didn't have classes on Fridays. I could pick and choose my courses, and I just had more freedom. So I was really excited about that opportunity. From there, I was accepted at the University of Florida. So I went to UF, go Gators. At the University of Florida, I was a pre-law student. So sort of an interesting thing here is that a lot of folks thought that I studied business or technology or even education, but I didn't. I was a pre-law student studying criminology and was really interested in social sciences. Started out as a business major, but wasn't really interested in the course content too much. So as I continued down my path as a pre-law student, I had the opportunity to intern at Apple. They were hiring students of all sorts of backgrounds, and I was a student working in their support team. So they mailed me a computer and everything I needed to set up basically a home office in my apartment right off campus. And I was answering phone calls, answering emails to folks that had questions about their iPhones and MacBooks and things like that. And I really loved it. And that's when I realized that, even though I'm studying pre-law, maybe technology is actually where I want to be. So because I had most of college done when I was in high school, I sort of graduated early, and I was able to use that experience at Apple on my resume to get me a job at a company called Gartner, which is a big market research firm. They gather research on technology and trends, and I was selling research to CEOs and different executives at companies. It was a really challenging job, but also a really rewarding job. They paid really well. I moved down to Fort Myers and had a great experience with my coworkers there. And it was at around that time that I was, kind of going back home to visit my family. And my mom mentioned the story about moving here when I was young and being told I wasn't really on a good track. And so kind of hearing about the impact of having a personalized kind of mentor or tutor, which was my mom, really struck me as being something that everyone should have. And education to me really mattered a lot. And so I thought about it pretty deeply and decided that it made sense to actually quit my job, even though I was making good money and I was doing well at the company, and dive into something new. And so I had this idea of basically, college campuses have tutors, but they're really difficult to access after hours. And students always need help because they're studying at various hours throughout the day, oftentimes procrastinating. And campuses didn't really have good technology to support that. And so I had this idea for Knack, which was basically a platform for the high achieving students who did well in course. So if you did well in calculus, you could sign up as a tutor. We would verify your grades, and then other students that need help could book you for services. The tutor would make money, the student would get help, and everyone wins. Well, we continued down that path. I moved back to the University of Florida in Gainesville, and I entered into the business plan competition because my best friend, who's now my business partner, was still a student there. And since he was a student, we were able to get into their business program for free and learn some of the ins and outs of starting a company. So part of that deal was you have to enroll into the business plan competition. So we applied and we ended up winning, which was awesome. We won $25,000. And that was sort of a start to really thinking about doing this long term and not really kind of being a risk, but per se something that was actually starting to work. And so I was really encouraged to take that opportunity at a younger age, because I was lucky enough where my mom said, if this doesn't work out, you can always come home and start over. And my company said, you did really well here. We realize you want to move on, but if you ever need a job, just call us. So that kind of gave me all the motivation to dive in and start Knack. And continuing down that path, we ended up pitching to other investors, and the owner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Jeff Finnick, is now our biggest investor. Go Lightning. And we've now opened an office here in downtown Tampa. And our goal is to really partner with campuses and help as many students as we can get the help they need to succeed, and help as many students earn an income by being a tutor. So we work with campuses like UF, USF, University of Akron, Florida A&M, schools all across the country. When I was younger, as I mentioned, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And I realized that even though I had a sociology and law degree, that didn't limit my options, right? Certain jobs like, being a doctor or being an accountant, you need technical training and certifications and degrees. But with law, you could really have a degree in anything and apply to law school. So it was giving me a lot of flexibility from the get-go. And really being able to kind of try out this idea at the University of Florida's business program was really great. So I would encourage you to, kind of think widely about what you can do, and don't feel so boxed in about what you're studying, because I didn't know what I wanted until later. And even when I thought I knew what I wanted, which was to be a lawyer, it really ended up not being what I wanted. So some advice I would give to my younger self is, don't feel boxed in, and intern, get as many opportunities, volunteer, work. I always worked since I was 15, and everything from Pizza Hut to, a delivery driver to, working at Apple. So try to get as many experiences under your belt as you can, unless you really know what you want. And if you do, then you should go get it, but I didn't. Being sort of a Tampa native, I'm really excited and devoted to building the company here. I think there's a lot to offer here locally. It's a growing economy. Even given COVID-19, I think there's a lot to be thankful for here locally. We have great beaches and pretty good weather. So I love being here in Tampa. Prior to COVID-19, most of the tutoring sessions that would happen, they'd be booked through our app. But then students would meet on campus and in person. We had approved locations the campuses would set. But we also had an online platform. So about 60% of sessions were in person. And then after COVID hit, everything moved online. So we were lucky that we had an online platform. So students, even today, that are using Knack can use it. And they're learning online through our platform, which is awesome. The really cool part about what we're working on is that we can build a strong community of peers. Our platform means high-achieving students connect with other students that need help, and they're able to then connect under an academic setting. But sometimes that also, translates outside of academics to say, hey, I'm struggling with this calculus exam, but I'm also struggling with, being alone. And that tutor is a really great mentor for them too. So in our platform, community is really important. And I think that mirrors the idea that community is really important today, given COVID-19. So I'm really excited for the future. I think on the other side of this, as things start to resume to normality, we're going to learn a lot. And I think we're going to be better off for it. Better health, better safety, and better preparation in case events like this ever hit. So I would encourage you to stay motivated, FaceTime, Skype, all your friends, and make sure you stay close to your family. Now's the time to spend time together, but also be motivated that this isn't the end of times. This is just really a hiccup and a roadblock that we're going to come out on the other side better for. And so, it might be a good opportunity to pick up a new hobby. I play guitar. That's kept me sane since I was pretty much all I can. Third grade, I started playing music. So, pick up a hobby, and perhaps that could even become an opportunity for an entrepreneurial venture. I know a lot of friends that are making t-shirts, that are selling baked goods. So now's the time to get creative and stay positive and excited. So again, my name's Samyr, co-founder and CEO of Knack. If you ever have any questions, you can reach out to us. Our website is joinknack.com, joinknack.com. And go team, we're all in this together. Take care.